Do you see as when it comes to the moderate level, I know the stated goals for FedRAMP 20x are we're going to start with low impact and we're going to make these changes. We're going to hammer it out. We're going to run some companies through. Then we're going to talk moderate. Then we're going to talk high. It seems like everybody agrees FedRAMP low can change quite a bit. We're all on board. They're low impact systems. It's not the end of the world. Like, um, when you get to moderate, though, it seems like there's a lot of disparate opinions. Like the PMO obviously feels like that can change very similarly to how FedRAMP low can change. You've got others saying, that's got to stay almost exactly how it is, or else you'll lose a lot of the security to it. You'll lose, reciprocity with the DoD. You'll lose a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, what's your take on that? On how far these changes can stretch before they kind of get to a breaking point?
That's a great question. So I'm going back to what I was just saying. If the low impact and the low impact tailored, those are fine because typically those do not have any type of sensitive data. No PII, no PHI. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to call it useless data, but it's data that does not rise to the level of modern systems. Which, if you've ever looked at it, NIST 860 and their sheet of data types, and that determines what that category is going to be. It's pretty involved. Um, I do not see how they can possibly change that. I mean, moderate. Yeah, I'm going to go with. I would be a hard no on that. A hard no on that. And FedRAMP High, forget about it. You know, you're dealing with sensitive information that is beyond PII type information. So, you have got to have a sponsor, a federal agency that is involved in the overall process because they have to dedicate resources to it. And they have their AO, their authorizing official, who has to sign off on this. So they have to accept up, you know, a degree of risk in all of this. That's needed. If you take that away and people can just say, yep, I'm FedRAMP High, go ahead and buy it. It doesn't work that way.
Mm.
When
Yeah, you raised
you're going to
a
find
good
this out
point
too.
about risk. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
you're
going.
gonna
Keep
find
going.
out about this too when you submit a FedRAMP package. That authorizing official, no matter where they are, what agency, even if it was the CHAP, they've got their own folks who have to read and interpret your work. Because they have to bring it in. They've got their own GRC teams who do things completely different than other agencies do. And when you've got all of these different balls you're trying to juggle, suddenly, there's a great big vector for error. And, and that's what I see is happening. And I don't see any way around that.